Hello everybody. In this week we are going to see some functions again, and we're going to complete it in order to have a better understanding what they actually can do. So let's get started and let me explain on the way how this works. As you can see, I have my week 7 open already, it's empty. What I want to do is pretty much copy everything that I have in my week 3 directory. I will copy everything here, and that brings me my arguments, my function, my inception, and my variables in the function. Let's start with the function itself. This pretty much is printing something specific that we want, and we just executing that function the way that it is. Let's actually change this a little bit in order to have it to return a specific value. Let's say that the grid, instead of printing something, what it's going to do is actually to give us a text, and then we can use the text wherever we want it. So that means that the functions can not only do one thing, it can return values or process values. This first example is a really basic one, it's just text directly. So let's change this a little bit. So let's do text equal to hello there. We ask for the name, and then we do text is going to equal text plus jump a line with the nice to meet you, plus the name, and in the end we just return the text, and this should be returned. There you go. If we execute this, Python 3 functions. So I said my name is Rodolfo, it's not doing anything, but grid have a value. Let me actually print what grid have, and you will see it. Grid have hello there, nice to meet you, Rodolfo, and it probably will have an extra space in there. There you go. What we're doing is, instead of printing directly in my function itself and declaring the text variable assigning to hello there, then I attach a jump line \n is to print like a new line, and then I send it nice to meet you and the variable that we have it with through the input, and we are returning that value through grid. We can actually have the value equal to this one to grid, and then we can do something like, no, let's do something simple. Let's just print the value. Probably this is going to split a little bit better. The functionality is the same, but you will see that this actually returns something, and when we assign it, all this text is inside the value. So whenever we print the value, we can actually see that content. And let's save it there. So let's go with variables now. This is pretty much the same way. Let's keep it as it is. Let's go with the arguments. This is a really good option. So instead of printing a total, let's actually return that total. And if we, of course, if we run this one, we just have an error that cannot be executed because we have two different types. Let's remove that. And you will see nothing happen because first sum is equal to this one, the second sum is equal to this one, and the third sum is equal to this one. And we just can print the first sum, the second sum, and the third one. And we see results in one line whenever we are printed like that. So we can actually return numbers, we can return strings, whenever we want, we can actually return it in a function. And that could help us to have a better understanding of what we need to be done. Let's actually open the exception one. And that will actually stay as it is. You don't need to do anything there. So this is actually how the return statement works. I want to do something extra, and that will be, let's actually create code. Let's call infinite args.py, and let's copy our sum, leave it here. And let's do a printing on this particular sum directly. Oh, I already have it open, sorry. Python 3 infinite arguments. Okay. Nothing fancy, it's still the same. But what about when we want to send 3 different arguments? It doesn't work. What happened if we have another sum with 3 numbers? What is it going to do? Let's give it that one. What happened when we do this? It fails because try to do definition, the last definition that we have. In this particular case, it's declaring that I cannot do sum because sum requires 3 numbers, and it's not taking aware on the first sum definition, so we cannot make this kind of options here. We will be able to do it in object-oriented programming, but that's a subject for another week. So how we solve to have n number or arguments? Well, there's a variable with a split operator. Let's actually delete this one, we don't need it. And we can say star arguments. What this does is it doesn't matter, it will take some kind of list on the arguments that are going to be sent to the function itself. Now we can have the total is going to be equal 0. Let's initialize the value, and we can do something like for number is my argument, total equal plus with plus total, I don't know, it's plus equal number. This work with 3, this work with 2, and we can actually have another one, 3, 4, 5, 5, let's say, and it's still working. Why is working? Because this will take all the arguments and create some kind of list, some kind of array. And not that I'm talking about arrays that we are not there yet, but I just want to introduce some concept in there. And we can have now with a for, when all those arguments that we put it in this specific function, make something about it. And we can make this kind of operations to be working. Hope that you like it. Happy coding, everybody.